where the Speaker of Pakistan's National Assembly has now accepted the resignation of 34 lawmakers of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. This comes just days after the party chief Imran Khan had hinted that the lawmakers could now go back to the National Assembly again. Now, following the acceptance of the resignations by the National Assembly Speaker Raja Parvez Ashraf, the Election Commission of Pakistan on Tuesday has denotified the 34 PTI MNAs. Now, what this means is that the lawmakers will not be welcomed back into the parliament, even if they wanted to get back into the parliament again. Now, reacting to this denotification, the PTI leaders have now said that the resignations were accepted out of ill intent by the Speaker and are actually an attempt to run away from general elections. In the month of April last year, the PTI had resigned en masse from the lower house of the parliament following the ouster of Imran Khan, and back then, the National Assembly Speaker had accepted only about 11 resignations, and it said that the remaining lawmakers will be summoned individually for verification. Now, the Pakistani media has reported claims that Imran Khan was willing to send the lawmakers back to the National Assembly for a caretaker kind of a setup. The Shehbaz Sharif government has reacted to these developments, where Interior Minister Rana Sanaullah has now said that the lawmakers will be allowed to come back in the National Assembly, but not for a caretaker setup. After which, the PTI leader Fawad Chaudhry clarified that the party's return was linked with its plan to oust Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. Imran Khan had also said that the Prime Minister, that is Shehbaz Sharif, will be tested through a confidence vote in a tit-for-tat measure. Now, currently, the PTI dissident Raja Riaz holds the parliamentary party's leadership position in the National Assembly. The PTI fears that he may decide to vote in favour of the Prime Minister in case of a floor test. All right, now to give us more insights in terms of what's exactly playing out in Pakistani politics, we're being joined by our Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik, who's joining us live from Islamabad at this point of time. Anas, this is an interesting flip-flop that seems to have happened, where the PTI lawmakers initially had all tendered their resignation. That resignation had not been accepted. And then, when Imran Khan indicated that he may want his members of the party in the parliament to go back to the parliament again, their resignations have been accepted. What's happening?
Well, Saleh, the temperature here in Islamabad might have dropped to -1 as well last night, but the political temperatures continue to soar. And you rightly mentioned that Imran Khan wanted this floor test to be done, or he had rather hinted of this floor test to be done for the Prime Minister. But government, in a preemptive move, they've striked, and they've striked hard. They've accepted the resignations of 35 MNAs of the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, and those include some very prominent leaders like Asad Umar, the party Secretary General, and the former Finance Minister Asad Qaisar, the former Speaker of the Assembly, Shah Mahmood Qureshi, the former Foreign Minister, then Parvez Khattak. You've got a long list of people who are there who have been accepted in these 35, and not just that, they've also been denotified as well. So it's more of a preemptive move from the government in order to scuttle any floor test, but it's very well thought out. It puts the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf or the PTI in a limbo, because as even now, even if they proceed for a floor test, then it would not be counted from the majority in the House or from the actual number of seats that are in the House, that is equivalent to 342, but rather the seats that are currently occupied and not in the House, like that are currently occupied by virtue of numbers or by virtue of members. So therefore, it's a very well thought out move. Shehbaz Sharif, even if now if a floor test is called, Shehbaz Sharif won't have to prove 174 by and large. He just needs to show that he has majority, a bit slightly more than whatever the half digit of the House that would be. So it's a very carefully thought out move, and it has certainly put a PTI in a limbo.
Absolutely, Saleh. Indeed. The PTI is in a limbo, but the question, of course, is now this: will Imran Khan now press on for a floor test against Shehbaz Sharif?
I personally don't think so. The options for Imran are pretty limited because even if he goes for a floor test, like his party leaders have been hinting, they've been saying that, and rather speaking, more like delusionally speaking, that that polls can be that the federal government is a guess for the next 2 to 3 weeks. That's what they're saying. But we've seen such strong claims being made. I remember interviewing Fawad Chaudhry right after their government had fallen, and he had said back then that this government, the incumbent government, which has now entered its 9th month, in fact 10th month of the coalition and ruling the country, back in the day when we interviewed Fawad Chaudhry, he had said that this government is a guest for 8 weeks and they foresee elections happening in 8 weeks. Certainly that was not the case. So I think this is a bit delusional as well. Imran Khan, if his party goes for a floor test, it would rather be embarrassing on their part to go for a floor test, because that would by all means strengthen Shehbaz Sharif. That is something which they would despise or would never want to happen. Saleh?
Absolutely indeed. Thank you very much indeed, Anas Malik, for joining us and getting us all those insights there. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.